Another 6,914 coronavirus cases have been reported in the UK. The death toll also rose by 59, taking the tragic total to 42,143. England reported 5,589 new cases of COVID-19, Wales had 398, Scotland recorded 668, and Northern Ireland had 259. The total now stands at 460,178. The new cases are down slightly from the past 2 days, where more than 7,000 new infections were reported. 7,108 on Wednesday and 7,143 on Tuesday. The latest figures come as a study showed there are signs the government's rule of 6 is starting to slow the spread of coronavirus. A study by Imperial College London and Ipsos Mori showed 1 in around 200 people in England were infected with coronavirus and found the reproduction rate has dropped from 1.7 to 1.1, while the prevalence of infections in England is still much higher than it was at the end of August. The timing of the drop suggests the ban on socialising in groups bigger than 6 may have had a result. Earlier today, another 55 hospital deaths were reported across Britain. The figure is a rise on last Thursday's total of 33 deaths in hospitals. Of those deaths, 44 died in hospital in England, bringing the total number of confirmed deaths reported in hospitals to 30,049, NHS England said on Thursday. Patients were aged between 60 and 99 years old, and all had known underlying health conditions. The deaths were between September 18 and September 30. 5 other deaths were reported with no positive COVID-19 test result. Scotland has recorded 3 more coronavirus deaths in the past 24 hours. Nicola Sturgeon said she warned the R number could now be as high as 1.7. The R number represents the average number of people infected by each person with COVID-19. The First Minister said the latest fatalities of patients who first tested positive for the virus in the previous 28 days take the overall death toll under this measure to 2,522. Nicola Sturgeon said 668 new coronavirus cases have been recorded in Scotland in the past 24 hours. This is 10.8% of newly tested individuals, up from 10.3% the previous day. Greater Glasgow and Clyde accounts for 244 of these cases, with 166 in Lothian and 123 in Lanarkshire. Ms. Sturgeon said, "The estimate today confirms our view that the R number is currently above 1, and it is possibly as high as 1.7. That partly reflects the impact of the outbreaks we've seen in the past 2 weeks, including in student accommodation. But as a point of perspective, it's also worth stressing that, because this estimate, as the R number always does, relies on past data, it doesn't yet take any account of any impact of the new measures we announced last week." There have been a further 398 cases of COVID-19 in Wales, bringing the total number of confirmed cases in the country to 24,383. Public Health Wales said 6 further deaths had been reported, with the total number of deaths since the beginning of the pandemic increasing to 1,622. Another 259 people have tested positive for coronavirus in Northern Ireland, the Department of Health said. brings the tally of infections to 11,952. Almost 2,000 have been diagnosed in the last 7 days. 2 more deaths were reported. Elsewhere, 50 areas of England are now under local lockdown rules after the government announced tough new restrictions to stop coronavirus spiralling out of control. Health Secretary Matt Hancock announced people who don't live together will be legally banned from mixing in any private home, private garden or indoor venue in the Liverpool City region, Warrington, Hartlepool and Middlesbrough. The law will formally change in the early hours of Saturday at 1 minute past midnight. Liverpool City region and Warrington already had laws against people meeting in private homes and guidance against meeting in pubs and restaurants. But cases have continued to rise and are now at 268 per 100,000 population in Liverpool. In these 2 areas, the patchwork of guidance will now be turned into full criminal law, like it already has been in 7 parts of northeast England. And the law will be introduced from scratch in Hartlepool and Middlesbrough.